Welcome back to the second game for Kaveon Community College, that is. This is the third and final game of our little scrimmage showcase. It doesn't have an official name because we're hoping that once COVID is solved, we don't really have to do this ever again. But we've had 3 games so far. Coffeyville was victorious at 10 o'clock this morning, playing North Arkansas Pioneers, who lost by, well, in the second half, lost by 1 to current CCC opponent, Eastern Oklahoma State College, the Mountaineers, I believe. And so this will be our final game, CCC versus a fellow Division I JUCO opponent, Eastern Oklahoma. Eastern Oklahoma, the Mountaineers, they are a very aggressive team. They're going to get out. There should be a lot of points, a lot of long 3 attempts, a lot of quick shots into the shot clock, not a lot of shot clock violations probably. And it's going to be a test for this Coffeyville team to deal with it. A squad that likes to get up and run. Of course, it's a good precursor for conference play when you have to go up against Independence Community College and Cali County and even a host of others, such as Butler Community College and, of course, Hutchinson, always a talented team. So this is a good tune-up. Remember, this is a scrimmage. This game does not officially count, but we are underway. This matters a lot to the players, and it's going to matter a lot to this coaching staff to see if they can get a little hint of progress and continuity with their players. And out there we've got Blaze. Oh, and a nice 3 there on the wing by Love Bettis. I apologize. The freshman guard from Florida with a beautiful 3. Didn't have one in the first game, but there makes the first shot. CCC for the first time today goes up and scores the first points of the game. We've Markeith Browning there, number 11, Blaze Katia. Akeda out on the perimeter. A nice contest, and that's going to be out, and they're probably going to give it to Eastern Oklahoma. It's going to stay here. Number 5, Tyler Perry, sophomore point guard out there as well. And then a stellar performance from Hayden Brittingham in that first game. Did a phenomenal job on the boards and being aggressive at the rim gets him the start for today. So different squads, 5-man squads than there was in the first half. Coach Herkelman looking to see what kind of combinations work well for him. A 3 by Eastern Oklahoma is no good, and a board by Love Bettis. So a 3-pointer and a rebound already for the freshman guard. He's going to have Browning there on the wing, wide open. Thought about the 3, nice jab step. Brittingham to the rim, to the cup, and that is 2 for 2. CCC comes out in a 2-1-2, full court press, kind of a zone trapping press. Trying to slow down this Mountaineers team. They are quick. That is Alvin Miles there, going to draw the foul on Browning. And he had a very good game against North Arkansas. Really heady point guard, really steady, does a good job of getting everybody involved. Shorter in size, but he's got a quick first step, and they're able to draw the blocking foul. He's up against Bettis there out on the top of the key. CCC traps it instead of switches, and now it's back to a mismatch. Nope, they're going to go back point guard v. point guard. Miles, nice job by Browning. So he's got an assist, he's got a steal. Nice crossover, and they're on the break. He's got numbers. High pass to Perry, thought about the 3, step back. Smart. Oh, Browning, long 3, he's feeling it. Ooh, and misses everything. Possibly a door open to let a breeze in. It is a chilly Saturday early afternoon. We're starting early, so if you're surprised or tuning in wondering, hey, I thought this game started at 2. Well, scrimmages tend to go shorter, which is the opposite. Oh, nice move there. Miles going to draw the second foul. Will be on the baseline before the shot. But, these scrimmages have been moving quickly and trying to get this day done with. But also to see what these players are made of. Get some good tape for the 4-year coaches to look at for recruitment purposes. And just get good reps in. It's been a long fall semester for these guys. They've been waiting. Oh, nice contest by Blaze there, number 15 for CCC, the big guy from Sunrise. But a nice first 2 points for Eastern Oklahoma. Perry against Miles. That's going to be a nice matchup going forward as long as they're both on the court at the same time. Brittingham, top of the key. Ooh. And Brittingham into the post, little step back. He didn't do that in the first game. Blaze kind of in traffic. Bettis, top of the key 3. That's his second, 2 for 2. And a quick 8-2 lead for Coffeyville coming out of the gates hot. Browning, he's already got 1. Of course, the foul situation in scrimmages isn't always they are not tracked super well. So, but still, you want to play as close as you can to being realistic. And a nice contest by Coffeyville. No whistle, good no call. Brittingham kind of took some contact. There's Perry out on the wing, goes by and knocked out of bounds. Miles reaching from behind, knocking it loose, and we're going to have our first substitution. Kaveon Mclean, a hot-handed two-guard who did a wonderful job, especially in the first half against the Pioneers, of really shooting really well and breaking open their zone defenses, and he's extremely quick as well. So while they might, both guards for Eastern Oklahoma might be smaller, they match up well with CCC. Bettis at 5'10", Perry at 5'11". They don't have to worry about guards posting up in this game. Into Blaze on the block. Nice little baby hook. Didn't get one to go in the first game, and we're going to have a quick timeout by Eastern Oklahoma. That's just too much, too big, too talented. And a nice entry pass by Perry gives him an assist. And Coffeyville comfortable with a 10-2 lead. Coach, of course, talking to his guy, making sure everybody's on the same page. And so we've got less than 3 minutes, or excuse me, less than 4 minutes into this first half, and already Coffeyville doing a good job of being aggressive into the paint. Now, a couple of threes, but that widens up your attack. They've drawn, Eastern Oklahoma's drawn a couple of fouls. That's been all Alvin Miles. And so far, though, Coffeyville's defense, which they used for a lot of success against the Northern Arkansas Pioneers, who, if you listen to that broadcast, you'll know, we mentioned it a couple of times, that Northern Arkansas last year averaged almost 103 points a game. Eastern Oklahoma also was no slouch at the Division I level and for junior college. And so Coffeyville defense going to be tested today, and Coach Erkelman had to be happy. Well, maybe not for him, but an average coach would have been very happy with him, with their performance that first half. Coffeyville doing a great job. McLean gets loose on the baseline. Browning with a rebound, so he's got an assist and a couple of boards. Bettis, nice stutter step, spin. Oh, nice swing pass. Perry, he doesn't miss those very often. Rebound, and he won't miss that one ever. An offensive tip by Blaze to Perry gives him a layup, and again, the deficit continues to grow for the Mountaineers, having trouble. Oh, wow, a Hail Mary of a pass. Brittingham with the block, but right to a player for Josh Jones from Eastern Oklahoma, who did a great job of knocking that down. Probably wasn't expecting the assist, but a great defensive play by Brittingham, and he kept it in bounds. Blaze goes up, gathers, and that's going to be an and one, and that's just, they're going to have to double or go to a zone because that's just too easy for the young man from Sunrise Christian. Kata's done a good job of squaring himself. You see he's got a kind of a bandage on that right wrist there, and that's more for just support and to make sure he doesn't injure it at all any further or anything like that. And free throw is good. He struggled from the line in the first game today, and they've had time. There's a secondary gym here at CCC that they can go. I don't know that he used it to work on his free throws between games. Probably not, but it's an option. And it's just sometimes it's just nice to play basketball in the afternoon versus the evening. Another rebound for Brittencourt there, and he's been very active, and he's done a heck of a job. Oh, and Browning with the scoop and the layup, and not a lot of resistance coming from Eastern Oklahoma at the rim. And Miles is going to pick up the second block on Browning, and he's complaining, but he got, and there, well, that's a problem. He complaining to the official on a pretty decently obvious call, and he's going to be checking out with a technical. So if you're keeping track of fouls, that would be his third 5 minutes into the first half, and not happy with himself probably. And that was a quick technical, but in the second game, in the intermediate game between the CCC games, I suppose, there was a technical in that one as well, and the officials trying to keep the chatter down and the complaining down. They're in preseason form as well, but not wanting to have to deal with all that, and especially on a Saturday afternoon when the games won't count till January. So 2 free throws and the ball for the Mountaineers. A whole new 5 for Coffeyville. We got Larry White, Boston Holt, Kavon Ellis, Noah Butler, and Jalen Smith out there. A shorter lineup in regards to they don't have a true center, but they're very long, rangy, and athletic. They're a nice double, and then a kick-out three, no good. Nice rebound. Well, from Butler, collides with Larry White, and an offensive board to the Mountaineers. 9-point lead. McLean probing against Ellis. And a nice swing pass there, and you see a lot of perimeter. Oh, and that was a shot that was missed. Another air ball, second one of the half combined for both teams, and that was more from defensive pressure. I think Ellis was in on that play, did a good job of closing out, not fouling, marking his spot, getting to the feet of the shooter, going straight up, and his length at 6'5", an active defender, allows that any shooter to get a little bit nervous. White on the post up, out to the baseline. Kind of a choppy pass from Holt, who had a really good second half and a good overall first game here today. Ellis, tip pass, down to 9 on the shot clock. Swing pass, Holt, 3. And a miss. Wow, Butler, and there was some contact. He'll be shooting 2, and Coffeyville getting basically whatever they want. Offensive rebound or just at the rim. That's been multiple offensive rebounds already. We've played just over 6 minutes into this first half. So the toughness award so far goes to the Red Ravens. We'll see if that continues. But with the platoon system and getting everybody involved, it looks like Coach Herc won't have to worry about effort. You'd like to hope so. And Butler, another guy from Sunrise. Free throw. Second one is no good. Free throws were a bit of an issue for the Ravens, especially in that second game earlier today. And a lot of free throws called. Boston Holt with a steal. Nice lob. Butler slam. And a perfect pass from Holt. The steal and the assist to the highlight jam. Nice job by the sophomore forward to the freshman forward. And defense. Oh, and then Butler's going to take a tumble, and that's going to be the 4th team foul on Coffeyville. Fouls were accrued at a rapid pace in both games so far. As I was talking to the officials between the games, they're like, hey, when conditioning isn't where it needs to be, your feet are going to get slow, your hands are going to get lazy, and that's going to be a lot of reaching and blocks. And that was most of the fouls. And when you do that enough, you start shooting a lot of free throws, and you get out of pace, you get out of whack, and that happens. So just a reach there by Smith against the very quick Miles of Eastern Oklahoma. So that's already 5 team fouls. And I think Miles has drawn 3 of them. So he's being very active. Hasn't scored yet, but being very active and trying to create off the bounce for his team. A couple more, and he'll be shooting a lot of free throws. Ooh, and a step-back 3. Cans it to bring the deficit down to single digits, and they're going to pick up full-court press. That was a nice move, nice rotation, good shot form. Oh, and Smith with the spin by Miles. White gathers, takes a little bit of a bump. Nice no call there, though. And White is on the board for the first time in the lead, back up to 21. And again, no resistance at the rim from the Mountaineers. The Red Ravens able to get whatever they want. McLean versus Smith. Holt picks up, nice stop on the drive defense, doing a very good job. Miles thought about another step back 3. He goes for it anyways. No good there. Rebounds. Some attempt at a rebound on the offensive end for the Mountaineers goes to no avail. And another possession will head to the Red Ravens. And that's Braylon Duncan checking in for Miles. Mr. Duncan had a good first game for him. Hit a couple of threes, was active on defense. Both teams are going to play deep into their bench to get as many reps as possible. Again, keep people's legs fresh. Coffeyville will rotate 5 about every 5 minutes. That's kind of that platoon system. Eastern Oklahoma more of a conventional subbing style. Butler thought about the 3. Ellis for 3. He won't hesitate, and he cans it. And he didn't play in the first half of the first game for Coffeyville and had a stellar second half, so getting some more minutes. That looked good defensively, being active. And more reaching. McLean gets through a triple team to Duncan. Hold at 6'7" against the 5'8" McLean. Nice job. Into help. Doesn't matter. Nice scoop and a score. That's when you're playing 5 wings or forwards and guards. Nice job by McLean to knock that out. Struggle to get the ball in from Butler. There's no, when Blaze isn't at the rim, it's easier to get to those shots. And That's exactly what McLean did. Hit a few threes in that for his first game today, but so far isn't able to get an open look on the perimeter. Coffeyville, very long and rangy athletic team, especially on the wings and guards. Which is going to be necessary. I mentioned conference play and how tough it is. Now, there's a lot of good guards at this level. Most everybody's got a few D1 guards. And if you can't guard that, you're going to give up a lot of points. White off the bounce, taking some contact off the glass, rebounds it. Kind of almost a self-pass, and again, no resistance from the Mountaineers. Coffeyville goes up 14. Oh, and knocked loose by Holt. Duncan's going to hit the floor, but they're going to keep possession. And another sub, Miles, is going to come back in, give Duncan a rest. Wasn't able to do a whole lot in the limited minutes. And he's going to have a seat on the bench, and Miles will be back in trying to get some flow of any kind. And we got a moving screen. Yeah, that'll be on Josh Jones, who canned a three earlier in this game. He's got a quarter of his team's points, but he sets an offensive screen. Just never set himself. Kind of wasn't even a lot of contact. But if it's not going to be a slip screen, if you actually have to kind of stand still, and he went for the middle of the road there, kind of made a little bit of contact, but never really established a position, and that's pretty easy. It looks like they're going to double Smith on a trap. Ellis three, another one. Woo! He's got two. Nothing but net. Same spot for both of them. And the lead balloons to 17. Miles easily breaks the press, but he can't get all the way to the lane. They're going to have to set back up him and McLean out there. They're guarded by Ellis. Butler with the help. And a missed three. Smith goes flying into the stanchion. McLean three. Yeah, he don't miss very often from there, especially when he's allowed to set his feet. Smith, who took a little contact, being picked up full court. That's Devin Owens, a long, rangy athlete. Going to have to be to pick up full court. White goes baseline and an extracurricular slam after the whistle, and that'll be looks like the fourth team foul on Eastern Oklahoma, 5 for Coffeyville, so pretty even across the board. Coffeyville's got just under 20 on the shot clock. See how patient they are. It's hard to be patient when you can just get to the rim, and there goes Ellis. Baseline swing, Holt, Smith, top of the key, short. Nice board by Ellis. Smith thought about it again. Oh, and then takes some contact. Oh, and then they're going to give it to the Mountaineers after the drive. Mountaineers coming back, down 14, under 10 to go in the half. Miles, nice feed and react, step back for White. Yeah, they're gonna pick up a over the back call, but Noah Butler and Larry White have bumped into each other already a couple of times in this first half, and Coach Erkelman just saying, just grab the rebound, just get the ball. But they bumped into each other a couple times in that first game as well. So both being very aggressive, both about the same size, both great athletes, and very blue-collar type guys, both trying to get rebounds and preserve possessions for their team, but there just almost knocked the ball away from each other. Luckily, they called an over-the-back call against Eastern Oklahoma. That's Bettis against McLean. Nice tip, nice job by Owens to knock that entry pass away. Brittingham there just needs to hold position, freeze it a little longer. Bettis needs to get into the pass a little quicker as well, but again, another shift change for Coffeyville. So for the next 5 minutes or so, it's going to be this group. Again, very different from that last 5. Different style of play. They're really kind of 2 posts there and then 2-point guards along with the combo guard. Ooh, Bettis long on the 3. He hit his first 2. Browning picks up the ball. He's already fouled 3 times and had a quick tee earlier, but he's back again. Scrimmages, it's not as big of a deal. I think they reset the score at half, and they'll probably reset the fouls if they keep him at all. Ooh, nice Euro step, but they're going to call him for a walk, and he did kind of hop twice there. Miles, a tough move. And he struggled. I mean, he hit a step-back 3, but otherwise has not had the open space that he had against the Pioneers. There he is picking up full court against Tyler Perry, sophomore guard. A bright future for him, both here, his sophomore year at CCC, and whatever school is lucky enough to sign him at the next level. Kata at the top of the key. 10 seconds. Bettis, bit of a hand check. Almost a turnover, and it's going to be a turnover. McLean tracks it down. Floater. And Brittingham almost gets it. And there, yeah, Coach Herrick not liking the effort, not liking the execution down on the offensive end or the lack of getting back on defense. And there he's going to have a timeout to talk it over. The lead is down to 12. And Eastern Oklahoma battling back, kind of grinding back into this game. It's tough. They had to, back-to-backs. Both teams, again, going deep into their bench, trying to get as many players as a good look as possible, trying to get some game film. And playing against other people after months of just scrimmaging yourself is always nice, especially in a semi-game situation. But back-to-back games is tough. So just keeping the conditioning, making sure people don't get hurt, trying to stay healthy, trying to stay active. You want to have as many good reps as possible. So if you're just kind of tired, and you can be out there, but it's not a good rep. And that's what we're trying to get as many as possible for both these teams, both these squads. Bettis against a double team. Managed to avoid it. Gets it across with a couple seconds to spare. Perry, lob. Kato missed it just a little bit. If it's too far out of range for him, that's pretty impressive. Browning almost picks up a fourth. Birmingham almost grabs it. And back-to-back buckets for Eastern Oklahoma. Only down 10 now. Coffeyville going cold last few minutes. Perry breaks it down. Swing pass, Bettis. Corner three, bobbles it. Nice step back. And that's good. He's 3 for 4. A really good swing pass there by Browning just to get it to him before the defense could set up. McLean probing, looking for any space whatsoever. Nice swing pass. Browning almost with the steal and the leak out. And then leaves Miles. Luckily, he didn't take the shot. Owens against Birmingham, 2 forwards, good athletes. Nice defense. And Eastern Oklahoma in this half-court set really struggling to get a good look. And that's about as good a look as they could hope for. Long. And a good job by Bettis to come back and take really a rebound away. And then he's trapped in a corner. And then it's going to be a turnover. There were two blue jerseys to 1 white, and yet they're going to give it to Eastern Oklahoma. Not sure about that, really. Neither official. Mostly rewarding Eastern Oklahoma and punishing Coffeyville for kind of a sloppy play there. But again, good effort by Bettis. Just wasn't able to break the press that time. Coffeyville up 13. Mountaineers looking to get into the lane. It's easier to take those threes, again, where you can probe and dish. And they're going to get a foul. It's going to be on Brittingham, before the shot. So from now on, every time there's a whistle against Coffeyville in the foul department, it's going to be free throws for the Mountaineers. Which Mountaineers struggling to get the ball in bounds. Corner three for Owens. And Browning with a rebound. Only scored once, but kind of filling the stat sheet in other ways. A couple of assists, a few rebounds, and a turnover. Was trying to do a little bit too much. McLean on the break. Stop and pop jumper, no good. Nice rebound. And I guess they're going to get him for a reach. Miles at 5'8" versus Kata. Oh, no. Yeah, I was about to say, they're going to give it. It's going to be against Eastern Oklahoma Blaze at 6'10", picking up an over-the-back call. 6 to go. And again, still a 13-point lead for Coffeyville. Bettis another 3. This is a quick trigger. That one no good. And then 2 more Ravens. It should stay here. Yeah, 2 more Ravens battling for the ball and knocking it away from each other. But fortunately, a Mountaineer was also in the vicinity to get a hand on it. And Coffeyville will keep possession. It's going to be another minute or so for this 5 before probably the next 5 checks in. So while they've done it, they've still got the lead. They haven't played with as much energy as they started the game with when they broke this game open. Nice entry pass to Brittingham. Oh, and a little spin through contact, and not much easier than that. More pressure from Coffeyville. Miles splits the defense over to McLean. Quick trigger. Nice. That's his second 3 of the first half. Doesn't miss very many open ones. And that's why Miles has struggled in the half court to get into the lane so they can get shots like this. Bettis against pressure. Browning over to Perry. Ooh, and kind of a missed dribble there. Doesn't really matter. They made up for it. Perry with, oh, nice. Blaze playing free safety there, and a steal. Bettis to Perry. Nice defense. Oh, and the reverse slam for the big man. And another timeout. As a 7-0 run for Coffeyville earns them a little bit of a break and a round of high fives in the huddle. Of course, Coach Herkelman talking to his point guard about something he can improve on. There's always something to work on, and you don't get to be a Hall of Fame coach without trying to find every little thing to improve. But Coffeyville doing a good job. Back up to a 17-point lead. Defense is forcing a lot of turnovers, and Tyler Perry with, I think, he had a layup earlier, so that's his first 3 of the ball games. Got 5 points. Scored a lot against the Pioneers, especially as the fouls ratcheted up. He was able to just earn a lot of points at the free throw line. He'll live there a lot this year, especially against a lot of teams that press a lot. You're just going to pick up, especially when you're a tough guard who doesn't turn the ball over very often. You're going to just pick up a lot of fouls. And so far, he hasn't been in the free throw line this game. We'll see. We got 5 to go. Coach Herc leaving in that 5. A nice defense by Browning, just swallowing everything up. Dante Horn had nowhere to go. This is McLean against Perry. Scoring guard versus scoring guard. Down to 7 on the shot clock. Bettis and Miles. Oh, a little set jumper, no good. Nice rebound. And Perry was looking for Brittingham on the run, but didn't want to force it, didn't want to turn over. Brittingham thought about it, and that's going to be a travel. A little bit too much of a shuffle, too quick of the feet. And it's going to be a change of staff here for Coffeyville. No changes within the second 5. Good activity for the starters. They had that really a minute-and-a-half run where they really picked it up. And so the second 5, which really ballooned the lead. We'll see what they could do in the last 4 minutes and 23 seconds. Miles picked up by Smith. Gets all the way to the block, and just miscommunication between him and McLean. That's a scrimmage turnover. That's a first semester turnover that will not happen as the season progresses and they're able to get more reps in. McLean cut one way. Miles thought he was going the other way, and tough turnover. Holt. Larry probing. Yep, and it's on the floor. Free throws from now on going forward for both teams. 4:04 left. And really, I think everybody out there on the court is either 6'6" or shorter, so the Houston Rockets are in love with this broadcast. And White to the rim, to the lane, no good. Butler couldn't bring it down. Nice rebound by Horn. And a spin move, and Boston Holt, he's got numbers. He's got Butler on the wing to the finish. No good. Holt and 1 on the offensive putback. Butler with the acrobatic miss. And there's some laughter going on. You can laugh pretty easily when you're up 19. And Boston Holt with, I think, his first basket and a couple of offensive rebounds to pad his stats. Not that we're keeping official stats, except for probably the coaching staff, and they're only keeping the negative ones. So missed shots, turnovers, and easy baskets for the other team. Nice job by the sophomore forward. Really excited when he came back to Coffeyville for this year. And another turnover. Smith to Holt to Butler. And he will pad his own stats. Missed the poorly timed oop. But some laughter amongst teammates. They're understanding. And Butler able to clean up his own miss. Sophomore point guard Perry meets him out of the court, out of the huddle to see how they're doing. And the lead is up to 22 very quickly. And so with a double of their score, Coffeyville sits pretty confident, pretty stable. We got 3:32 to go, and so we'll see if they can break the 50 mark. There's some chuckling going on in the huddle. I mean, they're playing tough. Missed shots, missed layups are frustrating. Turnovers are frustrating. But when you're forcing the other team and you can get to the rim whenever you'd like, you're able to relax a little bit. And Coffeyville doing a very good job of imposing their will on this Eastern Oklahoma squad who came in averaging from last year, averaging, I think, 90-some points a game. Didn't translate to a lot of wins, but they're a well-respected program. They have a lot of guys go on to the next level and succeed at the next level, and they like to score a lot and quickly. And so to only have 22 points, again, it's a scrimmage situation, so not quite where they want to be when the season starts, but you got to give a lot of credit to Coffeyville's defense, their communication, and their commitment to being better. Nice job by Boston Holt to stop the initial pass to Duncan. Nice drive. McLean thought about the corner three. Tough when the 6'5 Ellis is on you. Drive, dish, and one of their first baskets at the rim. One of the better looks they've had this second half, and down to 20 is the lead. Smith, spin against Miles, trying to just create some easy points off of steals, pressure. Smith, Ellis to White. Coffeyville setting a lot of back screens and cuts, trying to get good mismatches. Holt against the smaller Miles. White, stutter step. Offense is kind of bogged down. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Smith, pull up three, and that's good. That's easy to shoot when you're up 20. Oh, and nobody back. And miscommunication there. But the fast break thwarted. White with the steal to Smith. Oh, and the dodge. Oh, and then the swing to Boston Holt was tipped. Nice defensive pressure. I think that was Horn. Nope, I was wrong. We'll get the jersey for you in a second. But good job, Eastern Oklahoma, trying to muster up some sort of resistance. Down 23. McLean will check out. Just unable to get a lot of solid looks, although he had a nice dish for their last basket. Did a good job driving baseline. White in the corner. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Drive, baby hook, no good. And it's going to be a tip out to Ellis. He's got Smith in the baseline. Nice pump fake. And that's his second basket of the ball game. Back-to-back jumpers. For a point guard, that little just setup, that little nice pump fake can go a long way. Nice corner jumper. Not a lot of resistance on that defensive possession for the Red Ravens. Good jumper from Josh Jones, his second. Looks like the Mountaineers are in a 2-3 zone, so daring these wings and forwards from Coffeyville to hit an outside shot. We know Smith can. Miles trying to get the steal. Ellis, White, baseline. Mishandle there by Smith. And now they're in man. They switched it up. That's Holt 5-4-3. Floater. Nope, going to pass it to Smith. Wow, 3 for 3, and he's got 8 points in about a minute and a half. Kind of a bailout shot, but nice pass by Holt to set that up. Oh, and Ellis took a stumble. Miles kind of just running around. Another baseline three, no good. And we've got a shove in the back on, I think, Ellis. Yep. So didn't establish a box out, kind of chipped it, probably more like a hip check really on offensive rebound. You don't see that from the defensive side very often, but this will be an opportunity for Eastern Oklahoma to make a couple of free throws and head into halftime with, I don't know if momentum is the right word when you're down 26, but something to build on. Nope. And Holt down to 60 seconds. Ellis, a little bit, it's too much traffic there. Butler able to bring it down. Ellis thought about the three. White, Euro, high off glass and good. When there's no shot blocker at the rim and the perimeter defense can't stop you from getting momentum into the lane. Oh, nice job by Butler. And the leak out to White. Here we go. And the tomahawk with under 30. It's a 30-point lead, and the pressure still on by the Red Ravens. Nope, they're going to pull it back to half court. No shot clock. This should be the last possession of the game. Miles against Smith. With some communicating, sophomore Jalen Smith doing a good job of pointing out where to go for his teammates. Miles on the drive, no good. Butler, run out. White, Euro, and good. That should count, so it'll give them officially a 32-point victory for the first 20. We've got another 20 coming up. The fouls and score will reset, as will probably the lineups. Coach Herkelman might change up, might not. I don't think he did in the first game, but he also didn't win a section by 30-plus points. A lot of smiling, a lot of laughter in the huddle. Scores reset. Clock's about to reset. Fouls have reset, and the lineups have reset. It's going to be starters back out there for Coffeyville. If you're just joining us, this is the last game for tonight, the second scrimmage of the day for the hometown Coffeyville Red Ravens, taking on the Eastern Oklahoma Mountaineers. I think that's their mascot. Coffeyville didn't have much trouble that first half. Ended up with a deficit or a lead of 32 points and a lot of jovial huddles, which is not often the thing. Not that they're not very talented, it's just usually there are a lot of things to work on, and they played pretty well. Had some turnovers, gave up some easy baskets when they shouldn't have, but you're not going to be able to shut a team out, especially Eastern Oklahoma, who likes to score that easily. Little short corner jumper, no good. Browning, they used up all the shot clock, a rarity for Eastern Oklahoma, and that's going to be a reach. Yeah, there's some contact. The Eastern Oklahoma bench didn't agree, but a lot of contact there against Browning in the open court. I think that was Owens. And Eastern Oklahoma picking up full court. They've changed their starting lineup. They've got McLean, Owens, Miles. Can't see the other two. That's Bettis against McLean. McLean hit a couple of threes in that first half. He's a pretty much lights-out shooter, very quick, active, offensive player. Now he's guarding Perry. There's Brittingham into Kata and Blaze. Oh, we missed a bunny. Had a couple of nice moves in the first half. A run out, no good. Oh, and it's going to be off. It's going to hit the line before Blaze could bring it down. So under a minute to go, or under a minute into this, or excuse me, 1:01 into this second half, and no team has scored. Love Bettis running the show, going to bring it up. It was Tyler Perry doing that in the first half. It's a small change, but it's important for the young point guard to have to run the show and set everything up while Perry can play off ball, which he wasn't able to do last year. A step back jumper, and that one's no good, but that's just a shot that is tough to get. Oh, nice defense by Bettis. Blaze pump fake. Oh, and he got hit on the arm. Yeah, I don't know why there was hesitation on that call, but that step back jumper happens when Perry doesn't have to bring the ball up. So the offense is able to get started on the opposite side of the court that he's on, and he's able to set up and also to have a more scorers mentality. So he's able to think not only for, it's not just for thinking for himself and a selfish mindset, but it's his job is different. His job description is different a little bit. And they're very excited about that duo, that combo. And I know Tyler's excited to not have to carry the break the press by yourself load like he had to a lot last year. Kata misses both of them, short on the second. And so neither team has scored. Both teams kind of went cold, and that can happen. The adrenaline might have died down a little bit. It happens on a blowout. Corner three, nice job, nice ball movement. That's an air ball and a shove in the back against Jordan White. Browning picks up another foul. Good box out, good way to be active. The air balls are the toughest shot to rebound because it's just you're expecting it to hit something, and usually it goes to where the box out isn't. Browning did a good job of sealing his man and drawing that foul. That's 2 fouls on Eastern Oklahoma. McLean on Bettis. And Eastern Oklahoma doing a very good job of being more pesky and tough on the perimeter. Browning top of the key three. That's short as well. A lot of short shots today. That might be the conditioning. You can't get your legs underneath you. Coffeyville trying to combat that by, good closeout by Browning on McLean. Doesn't matter. He don't miss very often and celebrates. Nothing but net. You're allowed to do that. That was a nice shot. Nice setup. Miles against Perry. Now, again, Bettis has now moved off ball. Oh, wow, and they had Browning. If he had just looked behind him, his man didn't go with him on a cut. A swing past Browning, thought about the three, jab step. He's very quick. Nice swing past Bettis, corner three. Yeah, they don't miss those very often. And a really good job, Browning to Perry. Perry already knew where he wanted that ball to go before the pass had even left Markeith's hands, and did a very good job of setting that up. He's just a smart sophomore point guard, is a rarity, and that's going to be a foul probably on Bettis. I think it was on Bettis, that second foul. I think it's the second team foul. And chance for Eastern Oklahoma to take the lead on the second free throw. And they do. Nice job. Nice looking form. Tight start to the game. 3 minutes in. Perry crossover. Boy, there's a lot of contact by Owens, and that's just a foul. That's in college. That's a foul every single time. And another fast break attempt for Eastern Oklahoma goes in. So Coffeyville struggling early here. Ooh, and almost turnover. Bettis wing three, no good. And another run out. McLean was wide open. Pass was short. Might have been tipped. Perry with the steal to Browning on the wing into Brittingham. Nice move. And he goes up strong with it and finishes and one. He had Bettis wide open on the baseline. I think he thought about the pass, decided nah, I'm playing pretty well. I'm going to take it myself. So a chance to tie this game up. Kaveon looking for a little bit of adrenaline and juice, trying to get something started, right? But it's just tough when you're able to put if this were a traditional game when up 30 in the first half, is always looking for ways. Nice looking shooting form there from the big man to get going in the second half. Miles, long run out of Blaze. Kaveon making another free safety play. Wonderful job there. Bettis to Perry. No good. And a slam by the big man. Oh, and the block, and they're going to get him for contact low on the body. Wow. Nobody was back for the Red Ravens. Everybody was at the rim for the offensive rebound. Didn't need to bother with the big man cleaning up the miss on the tip dunk, and then he runs all the way back. And then, unfortunately, has to foul, but that is very tough to teach, and you cannot teach that kind of athleticism. But that great effort by the big guy, what a series for him. Browning with the chase down board. Perry had Browning for a second. They're setting up a play. They're wanting to do something specific. That's what happens when you have a smart point guard in a scrimmage situation, where it's like, hey, we could go get an easy basket, but we're trying to learn, we're trying to practice, we're trying to see this play against real life competition that doesn't already know what's coming on a different team in a game situation with referees. Sometimes you have to wait and you have to take maybe not a bad shot, but you have to get a different look just to get that practice in that you can't replicate outside of a game situation. Bettis, drive, drop down, Perry, step back, money. And he's having a good second half, trying to get his team kind of fired up again. Again, difficult to do. Owens, he's got an open lane, and he dribbles it off his knee. Oh, they're going to call it out on Coffeyville. It's easy. You don't get a lot of resistance on some of those calls, again, when the first half was by a wide margin. And Coffeyville, again, has now taken the lead back, a 4-point lead. Oh, and they missed the cutting Hunter. Had a good first game against the Pioneers. Owens, wing three, kind of spread his legs out like he thought he was going to get hit. Brittingham is going to knock the ball out of bounds. That's going to be off him. And the weak side rebound will end up going to Eastern Oklahoma. 19 on the shot clock. Browning with a stumble. Blaze, nice contest. We got to get around the length. Good luck doing it on a regular basis. That was a nice move in the lane, though. And the lead is down to 2 for Coffeyville. Miles against Bettis. Perry against McLean. To Brittingham, who I don't think was expecting the pass. Spin move, floater, crawls out. Power move, that's going to be free throws for the big guy. It's just tough when you're just bigger and longer and more athletic than the people around you. Sometimes you just get wailed on a little bit. But a 2-point lead, see if he can hit a couple of free throws. Missed his last 2 before the platoon change. We got 5 more Red Ravens ready to check in. Nice looking form. He's got touch, just needs a lot more reps, just needs practice. Nothing wrong with that. So it'll be Butler, Holt, Ellis, and Smith in for the Ravens with Hunter Anderson, who didn't play in the first half, ready to check in. Had a really good first game. Was scrappy, hit a couple of threes, and he'll be checking in. I guess technically he's the center at 6'6", probably about 210, maybe, after a big lunch. So a lot more rangier, a lot longer, quicker team out there now for the Red Ravens. It's Owens against Holt. Miles against Smith. Nice job by Butler down on the block to front. White down there not allowing an entry post pass. Down to 5 on the shot clock. McLean against Ellis. And that was an excellent job. Nice help defense on that to force the pass. McLean probably wanted either to drive for the foul or pull up three, and was unable to do either with the length of the double. And then Miles wasn't ready for the pass and stepped out of bounds. That was an excellent defensive possession for the Red Ravens. And they have a 4-point lead with a chance to add to it. Smith, who had a good first half, 8 quick points. Holt kind of walked almost, kind of stutter-stepped. There was some contact. Owens with I guess technically a no look. That'll be a foul on Ellis there. I think he kind of looked and then passed it and then looked away from it, but we'll give him it. And that'll be White at the free throw line. Mountaineers playing a lot tougher this second half. Coffeyville also not just able to run away with it. The Mountaineers doing a very good job of being much tougher at the rim, better on the offensive, allowing less offensive rebounds, and just taking care of the ball better. And that happens just getting more exposure to what the other team is doing. And they're a lot tougher. Lead only up to 3 for Coffeyville. Still a long way to go in this last half of the scrimmages for today. Oh, that one hard off glass, no good. Anderson with the rebound, his first statistic of the day. Holt, nice job protecting the ball there. It was kind of a scary pass. Late rotation by Hunter, but no worries. Ellis. Looks like Oklahoma is in a 2-3 zone. 7 seconds. Ellis hit a couple of threes. Smith, somebody might have got a piece of it. That's short. Holt. He's in trouble, in traffic. Anderson, big bodies. Floater, there's some contact. Butler on the offensive boards, nothing doing. Hunter just bigger and was able to secure the board. That's McLean against Wilson, or Smith, excuse me. There's White against Butler. And he picked up his dribble early. Holt into Anderson. Run out, Butler. Power layup, did a nice job. Kind of jump stop, gather, make sure he could go with 2 hands. Went with the left, he's a righty. Showing off his flexibility. Way to run the floor. 5-point lead. Ellis picking up Miles. Man, that's a tough assignment for somebody so quick. And Ellis knocks the ball away, dives on the floor to Holt. He's got numbers. Smith finger roll, and they're going to want a timeout for Eastern Oklahoma, as that's 6 quick points. Actually, I think it's 5 quick points. Sorry, as the lead, as the highest it's been in the second half. Again, more laughter in that Coffeyville huddle. It's a long way till January. We're almost to November here. Finals weeks are going to be here in about 4 weeks, I think. So the semester's winding down. Coffeyville. As I say that, the broadcast crew, at least one of them, Brad's excited that the semester. We've done a good job. Coffeyville's done a good job of getting through this. Every single day on campus is a win, and we have almost won the entire semester. And the sports have done a good job of working around all the extra COVID, apparatus of what we need to do to keep everybody healthy and safe. And so here as a timeout, and Coach Urkelman obviously still coaching, obviously still looking for improvement, but sometimes when you're playing as tough and as hard as they are and you're having success on the court, and even if it is a scrimmage, there might be some things to change, but you don't have to roast a player over the coals necessarily when you might want to save that for January or February. Then again, I'm not a Hall of Fame coach, and if Coffeyville plays lackadaisical for a couple of minutes, that probably going to change. McLean against Smith. Looks like Coffeyville is in a zone. Kind of more trapping, trying to create. Just to disrupt what the Mountaineers are trying to do. Just give them a different look so they have to think about it. McLean thought about a 3, and he's going to move his pivot foot there. And there was just confusion coming out of a timeout. That's a chess move there by Coach Herkelman to just change up his defensive pressure there. They had success with one style and changes it up just to mess with the other team. And, well, looks like it's going to be a pretty weak moving screen. It's more of just a dribble handoff. They're saying Smith bumped somebody. Ellis certainly was free and open. Again, most officials are doing cracking down on just a little bit of everything, because it's not just to establish what the rules are. It's also to it's a learning moment for what the players can and can't expect to do when the season starts. And the more they just see that and feel that and get used to it, the cleaner the basketball will be when the games do count. Nice crossover by Jones against Holt. Good defense. Step back, no good. And almost could have been an offensive foul. Boston Holt wasn't quite able to establish the box out, but able to tip it to his team, and they're going to bring it down. Smith, screened by Butler. And the crowd is now involved. The ball is into the stands. On the tip pass, 20 seconds on the shot clock. It looks like more zone from Eastern Oklahoma. Ellis, corner three. Oh, and then I think they're going to get, that's going to be a shove in the back. Good job by Hunter Anderson to be active on the weak side board. Ellis did, he's had some shots that hit nothing but net. That hit nothing at all, but Anderson being active on the offensive board is able to draw a foul. Next whistle against Eastern Oklahoma in regards to a foul is going to be free throws. Ellis to Holt, wing three. That's going to be good. That's something he's worked on a lot. Oh, and a lob pass to Jones. Butler, verticality. Anderson with the board. Smith on the drive. He's got numbers. Ellis thought about it. Jump stop and scoop and a score. 22-10. And Coffeyville, that probably should have been a walk. Anderson with the hustle, and it's going to stay Eastern Oklahoma. I don't know how that happened, but I'm up in the bird's eye view. And Will Tunstall, an official down there on the baseline, had a much better look at it. Good hustle by Hunter Anderson to just get back in and stop an offensive rebound opportunity. He also had a rebound on that last defensive possession that led to a layup, which looked very familiar compared to that first half when Coffeyville was able to establish their dominance at the rim, unimpeded almost. 12-point lead and 10 minutes, almost 10 to go in this last half. McLean, was wide open. Butler, and a block, weak side block by Ellis. Holt, he's got numbers. Ellis for the slam. And another timeout for Eastern Oklahoma, and all smiles for Coffeyville. Way to run, nice job by Boston Holt. He might lead the team in assists this ballgame. He's done an excellent job of getting out on the break, keeping his head up, looking for his teammates, and Ellis doing everything with his minutes. He's able to earn 10 minutes and 1 second left in this half. Eastern Oklahoma looking for some answers here, and they're doing it. It's tough when you're unable to get decent looks, and then when Coffeyville's pressure and fresh legs every 5 minutes, that platoon sub in has been very effective. Coffeyville's done that. I don't know how long Coach Ruckelman's been doing that. I know that I think it was in 2018, they did it a little bit. I know in the 2018 and 2019 season, when they made that run, got third at nationals, they had the depth they could do that. You don't always platoon in the second half, depending on how well or poorly players perform in the first. Kind of whittles your lineups down. But this team certainly looks to have the horses to run, and they're not a complete roster yet. They've got some guys that'll be eligible and are ready to medically cleared to play starting in January. Especially in the post. That's really the only place they lack depth, and they're able to get away with it, at least here today, with the toughness of their wings. Ellis, Miles, first open look he's had, and he's going to knock that down every time. Good-looking shot. We've got another shift change coming in. Looks to be like the normal starter. No, excuse me. There'll be a slight difference in starters, but Holt on the drive to the rim, no good. And McLean on the leak out. Ooh. Little guy almost went up for the dunk. Nice hops there. Went with the finger roll instead. The lead down to 9. First time it's been single digits in a while. Ellis, dish, Butler, reverse is good. And Coffeyville going to have to be a focused effort to get back on defense on a regular basis against the team that's going to leak out like this. Miles on the drive. Knocks Butler down. They're going to get a charge there. A little bit I don't know if Butler's a business major or not, but he sold that a little bit, being at 6'5", 200 plus versus the 5'8" Miles, and they're gonna have a shift change here for Coffeyville. Looks like it's gonna be Perry, Bettis, Brittingham, Browning, and Larry White is going to check in for probably going to be about 5 minutes or so. 11-point lead they get to work with here. Full court man-to-man pressure by Eastern Oklahoma. Ooh. That was almost a travel to inbounds the ball. Brittingham kind of might have been an extra step. They didn't catch it. Browning on the wing. He's got Brittingham in the post. Good perimeter defense by Jones. Bettis spin move, and he loses the ball on the way up. That would have been nice. Browning's back. McLean probably pull up 3 there. Yep, there you go. And we're going to get my cameraman involved over there. So it'll be, again, more full court pressure out of a dead ball from Eastern Oklahoma, at least for a little bit. They're definitely still in this one. Low scoring second half for these teams. Might be fatigue, just lack of energy and adrenaline. There's no band, no cheer, no dance. And a lot of the crowd has gone home, trying to get away from the cold weather that set in this Saturday in southeast Kansas. Perry over to Bettis, thought about the 3, jab step, goes in and makes a sweet pass to Jones. Wrong team, wrong jersey. McLean off glass, no good. Browning back to get on defense. Brittingham made that shot miss. Nice job by him. Perry's going to be called for a foul, saying he shoved off with an offhand as he fell to the ground. And still working with a double-digit lead. Coach Herc still prowling the sidelines, getting his team where they need to be. Not only for success in this game, not only for when the season starts, but for that national tournament run they're expecting to make. Long way to go, though, for that. The lead dips down to 9. Nice shot by Miles. So pull-up jumper. If you're a smaller guard and you don't have that in your arsenal, it's tough to make a living at the college level, and he's got that in spades. Browning one-on-one against Owens. They've been matched up a lot this second half. And we're going to get a timeout. Coach Herc's going to get everybody kind of organized and back where they need to be, mentally at least. It's a different lineup for this crew with Larry White subbed in for Blaze, the big man from Sunrise. So it's a different look, and so these guys got to reorganize how they run stuff and who's got what on defense and offense and that kind of role that you need to have. And again, we got 7:40, and they got plenty of time to balloon this lead. Eastern Oklahoma playing much tougher this second half, doing a better job of keeping control of the ball. They've hit a couple threes, and they've been tougher on the boards and at the rim. The only time they weren't is when Coffeyville was able to seize control in this ball game. It'll be Coffeyville inbounds on the sideline. That'll be Bettis to take it in. Perry versus Miles. Wants to clear out. Miles really looking for those steals. And they're going to get a reach. Yeah. And it's going to be free throws, one and one for Perry. And there's a little bit of extra contact afterwards. Perry, 1 for 1 at the line. Shot a lot of free throws in their first game. This is his first attempt, I think. Here, lead back up to 10. If you're keeping track of possessions, which we're not at that point in the ball game, it's now a 4-possession game. A little toss out to Jones, who's trapped by Bettis. A lot of hands in there. They're going to get a whistle here eventually. Yep, there's the reach against Browning. And that'll only be foul number 6. So no free throws yet, but now going forward, there will be. Looks like Owens, I think, checking it in against Brittingham. I think Coffeyville's in zone, trying to call out who's got what. Bettis with the steal, bad entry pass. They've got numbers. He's got Perry, Brittingham, and thought about the dunk. Nice saw layup, but nobody's back on defense, and that's going to be McLean with the dunk. Little man got up. He's more than a sharpshooter. Bettis with the crossover. Not much resistance Floater no good. Brittingham with the offensive rebound. Couldn't corral it. And that'll be Matthew knocked the ball out of bounds, being active. It'll be Wilson to check in. Or, excuse me, Smith. I don't know why I keep messing that name up. And Bettis will be checking out. Coach Irk unhappy with decision-making, most likely. Looks like it'll be White to check in for Eastern Oklahoma. Try to get some fresh legs in there. Here's Browning against Jones. Oh, they had Brittingham in the post. One to be patient. They got 10 seconds on the shot clock. Browning, Brittingham, Smith. Oh, well, he thought about the three for a couple times. Steps into it. That's tough. Browning with the offensive rebound and then goes down with it, and that's going to be, they're going to get an actual reach. It could have been a jump ball. A lot of times you either want to just go back up with it or get it out quick. There he kind of hunched over to try to protect the ball, and he's going to be rewarded with some free throws. It's going to be 1-1. Still an 11-point lead. And nice first free throw. He missed a couple, I think, earlier in the game, and he missed a couple against the Pioneers, but he's got a really good free throw stroke. He's just a good shooter in general, just trying to get more reps in, trying to just keep working on his craft. He's a young guy, freshman. Very talented, a lot of high expectations for him, and he gives a lot. The best thing I think about Markeith Browning is the amount of effort he gives on defense. He's a guy that could go score 20 at most colleges, and instead he's very active, very aware, always communicating. There, a nice double by him with Smith. It's going to be out of bounds on Coffeyville, so Eastern Oklahoma will retain possession. But again, just being active and wanting to make an impact on both ends of the court. 13-point lead. Oh, Miles, nice little head fake into the lane, and they're going to get, it's going to be Smith on a bump. That call might not be made the entire year, but here early, especially in scrimmage season, it's going to be just to set the tone. And Miles, as good of a shooter as he is from all over the court, free throws are a pretty consistent aspect of his game. Doesn't take much time on there either. 2 point guards for Coffeyville, sophomores, Smith and Perry. Perry picked up by Jones. A low crossover there to get it across half court. Brittingham's got the size advantage. Oh, he had White on the cut. Little floater, no good, too hard. Browning hanging on the rim. And almost with a steal against McLean. And easy break. Step in three for Jones, and that's good. That's his second three. He's got a nice looking jumper. He's playing for the right team. They emphasize that, and the lead's down to 8. Coffeyville just trying to get out of this thing with a win. Perry against traffic. Saw a lot of that last year. A lot of teams do a lot of run and trap in this league. Perry couldn't quite handle it. And, yep, that's going to be a pretty easy just bump and grind. So Perry's going to be back at the line. And so 5:25. Coach Irk hasn't brought in a new 5 yet, so he's probably going to let these guys play at least a couple more possessions. Perry, 1-1. Nothing but net. Add into his totals. Trying to get the lead back up to double digits. And, yeah, both point guards here. Really, the guards themselves are great scorers for both teams. Browning playing a little bit of free safety. Nice cut. White's going to pick up a foul, and that's going to be an and one. Nice job by Jordan White to pick up the foul. And Larry White did a nice job on the cut. I think he's left-handed anyways, so he went with his strong arm, took the contact. Late rotation, or they just missed him for Coffeyville. So going to have a chance to chop into this lead. And that's a miss and a rebound by Larry. Actually, I think he shifted his pivot foot. No travel called. Browning to Perry, trying to get everything set up. Let the point guard run the show. Coach Irk letting his team. Oh, and then Larry's going to lose it out of bounds, but it's going to be off of Lloyd Matthew, Eastern Oklahoma. So 17 left on the shot clock. 5 exactly to go. No subs yet for Coffeyville. Browning to White, baseline, jab step, nice job. Pull up, jumper. Miles was able to track down the errant pass. Picked up by Browning. Nice pass. Brittingham doesn't go for the fake, doesn't matter. White, that's 4 straight points for him. And now Coach Herc will make a change. Maybe legs are getting a little bit tired. Energy is kind of waning. The lead is only at 6. Perry, step in 3. That's nice. And they're going to get a timeout. I think Herc's just wanting a sub, so it's going to be real quick getting these guys into the ball game. Perry kind of able to close up some of those wounds of the points they were giving up there, trying to get the lead back to 9. A comfortable margin for the last 4:25. And a new fresh 5 for Coffeyville. That's Bettis, Ellis, Anderson, Butler, and Holt. All have made had big moments in this game. All have made good plays. All have needed reasons to go talk to Coach Herc, which that happens. But we'll see how this 5 does, closing up a closer game than they have had in this setting today. McLean wanting kind of a screen. There's one-on-one with Ellis. Nice defense by Ellis. Bettis against Miles. Step back. And no good. And it's going to be a team defensive rebound. You don't see that very often. Good box outs. And ball just goes out of bounds harmlessly. Bettis to bring it up. He's the only point guard. The first time, I think today, he's been the only point guard on the court. So he's going to have to really run the show and prove he can run a team. Ellis to Holt. Well, Holt as a Boston, the combo guard, to the rim. Pass out Bettis for 3, and that's good. Lead back to double digits. And it's him versus Miles. That's a good point guard. That's a good scoring matchup there. Ellis against McLean. Ellis doing a very good job defensively, keeping the guards in front of him. These guys are quick. They're able to score easily. That's their job on this Eastern Oklahoma team, and Ellis has done a great job defensively, keeping his guy in front of him. Matthews against Anderson. Little fader, no good. Holt with the rebound. Bettis pull up. That's good. If it's a quick shot, sometimes you worry. But when it's a wide-open step-in jumper and the pseudo-fast break and it's as money as his shot is, you don't have to worry about it too much. Miles against Bettis. Nice defense by the freshman. Miles had nowhere to go. McLean against Bettis. A lot of dribbling for Eastern Oklahoma. A long 3, no good. Nice rebound by Anderson. Good box. And he's going to be whacked, so he's going to be shooting 2. It's now the double bonus for Coffeyville. Anderson's going to, I think this will be his first chance at a score. I don't think he's had a shot go in yet. He had a couple, hit a 3 or 2, and I think I just won 3 in that first game, but had some other looks and made some plays. 2:29, we got a couple more subs coming in. They'll be Randall and Jake Benathorum will be checking in. First time for Jake today. Ellis will check out, as will Bettis. So between Boston Holt and Jalen Randall, that'll be, nope, Boston will check out so they can keep a point guard on the floor in Bettis. Another free throw for Anderson. That one's going to be short. 1 for 2. Bettis calling out, wanting to take Miles. Quicker matchup, better matchup for him. Randall picking up McLean. Had a good second half. Had some good minutes in that first game. He's going to get a reach there against Northern Oklahoma, though. Randall came in and was active. I think he had a couple of threes and another pull-up jumper. Had 8 quick points. Was willing on defense. Did a good job. And with 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go with a 15-point lead, picks up a foul. McLean, rebound, Anderson to Bettis. This will be a good test to see how well Bettis runs the show. And there, a turnover and a fast break layup for McLean, lead down to 13. Bettis against pressure, double team. Over to Randall, Benathorum. Anderson, corner three. That's nice. That's his 4th point. He doesn't miss a lot of those. Lead back up to 16, 90 seconds to go. Randall against McLean. A nice job by Randall to cut him off. A wild shot there. Butler takes the blow from Anderson. Randall on the break. Benathorum to the rim. Fouled. He's going to be at the line. Almost in hand one opportunity, and the bench is off their feet in support of their teammate. .75 seconds to go. Really all Mountaineers are playing for. See if they can get the lead down to single digits or not. First free throw looks good for Jake. Gets on the scoreboard. Nice. Been sitting all day and goes 2 for 2 from the line. That's pretty impressive. That is still picking his man up. Miles, caught him looking. Goes baseline. That's going to be a block by Anderson. Last couple minutes, done a really good job. Had some rebounds, hit a 3, hit a free throw. There's a block out of bounds. They're going to give up a corner 3 here. No, they missed him. They had McLean wide open. Miles is going to take it. No good. Butler with the board. Ahead to Randall. Miles. And Randall's going to just lose it out of bounds. Nice job by Miles to not quit on the play, not quit on the game, and get back and force that turnover. Under a minute to go, and we're just counting down the seconds till this one's over with. McLean against Randall. He's got a mismatch. Goes into the post where there's another mismatch there. Some confused passing there. McLean won't hesitate to take it, and that's a pretty easy shot for him. Nice looking stroke. 30 seconds, so there'll be one more possession for the Mountaineers. Bettis to Randall. Run a little wheel offense. Benathorum decided to take it himself. The ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. 18 seconds. Randall will take the ball out. Bettis won't hesitate. He'll answer right back. They cross the half-century mark, both halves, 51-33, and that'll be it for this one. Coffeyville did an excellent job. McLean just hoists one at the buzzer. Coffeyville wins every half they played, all by double digits, and a powerful second game here with a combined win of probably close to 50 deficit, and against a solid Eastern Oklahoma squad. So that's our first action. That's our first live stream of the fall semester. It's a fun one. It's been a fun day covering men's basketball in a basketball enthusiastic town. We will be back. We will try to be back. I think there's another scrimmage in a week for men's basketball, and then possibly an inter-squad scrimmage for football, so we'll see if we can get to those. In the meantime, everybody stay safe, stay warm, and we'll see you next time.